Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85. I'm back today with my latest video. Today we are, of course, currently in the month of October, so I'm doing my spooky October figure reviews. Initially, this was going to be a haul video vis-a-vis my whatever I found at Spooky Empire this weekend. Unfortunately, the convention was canceled, at least postponed anyways, due to the impacts from the hurricane. So just very unfortunately we had to go through this, but it just is what it is. Hopefully they'll reschedule, but that remains to be seen. So so for the time being, though, I wanted to just go ahead and get the next figure review out. And this one, I was really anticipating. We are going to go ahead and take a look at my Monstarz Creepshow Fluffy the Crate Beast figure. Now, the crate is my favorite segment from Creepshow, and it's a film that I absolutely love. Probably my favorite anthology horror movie. Just have always loved it ever since I was a kid. And like I said, the crate was always my favorite segment from it. Fluffy, as he was dubbed as by Tom Savini and crew who did the effects for Creepshow. It was just a really awesome monster. I always believed he was some kind of Yeti or, abominable snowman or something like that. Some kind of, because you can see some kind of ape creature, but, very deadly, of course. And, just a really cool monster nonetheless. Always scared the heck out of me as a kid. So, it still does creep me out, but I love him though. So nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and jump into this. This was a really cool figure, and, because they did have the license, so this is an actual officially licensed figure. There's a few others in this line, but these are not your standard size. These are a little bit smaller, but we'll go ahead and take a look here. Let me take a look at, let's look at Fluffy first here. So you can see the paint and the detail work done for him. So you got like this sort of grayish paint scheme done for all his fur on his body, but there's definitely some black wash done on that, so to give it make it pop a little bit more, make it look a little bit more true to the film. So I think they did a pretty good job. I think there should have been some more splashes of white mixed in there with the gray, if I'm, kind of thinking correctly. But nonetheless, I still think it looks pretty good. You take a look at the face and all the detail work there. You got the nostrils, again, that very simian sort of look that he had. And if the camera picks it up, you got like those emerald green eyes with this almost reptilian-like pupils that he had. So let's see if I can capture that look for you guys. Trying the best I can anyways with my camera to pick it up. But just to try and showcase to you guys there, though, nonetheless. Of course, you got the fur that protrudes out from the sides of the face and on the top there. Fur that he's got. Nice little detail work etched in for it as well. You got the extremely sharp teeth that he's got. Now, this is just one molded piece there with the teeth painted on in this sort of off-white bone color that you guys can sort of depict there. You got that brownish for the actual face part of him anyway. Again, more of the detail work, some of the wrinkles, all the lines and whatnot on his face there. But definitely looks pretty cool nonetheless. I certainly like it. Very cool. Again, more of the fur detail for the back of the face there. And again, more of that brownish paint for the chest and abdomen area, the pecs. The abdomen looks like Fluffy's been working out a bit, and he's kind of muscular there. So very cool, though. And then, of course, all the musculature and the fur that covers his arms here. Protrude out, some nice extra added touch of detail there. Again, more of that brownish paint for the hands. And then the long black claws that he's got. Pretty, not too sharp, but fairly sharp to the touch, so it's a hard plastic, so you can definitely feel the sharp edges on those. Really, really nice detail work, and on palms as well. And there you guys can see, very, very cool looking. And of course, more of the fur on the legs and the detail work there. You guys can see all that. And then of course, the brownish paint scheme for the feet with the black claws for the toes as well. And again, that detail work. Kind of plain Jane on the bottom, but nice detailing on the top part of the feet, though, nonetheless, as you guys can see here. And again, more of that fur detail for his back as well. Goes all the way down. Really, really, you know, for this is more in that they consider this like the 3 3/4 inch scale, which I consider the roughly 4-inch scale. So for that size, you know, that this figure is in, it's actually pretty cool, the detail work that they put into this guy. And I know that they were trying to do more of a throwback to retro style figure, so the way it's designed, and of course the articulation, which we'll get into in a moment. But still, nonetheless, though, very, very, very awesome. You know, to have a figure of the Crate Beast from Creepshow is just a really, really awesome thing. I was very, very happy that Monstarz released this. Monstarz is part of Amok Time Toys. That's sort of the parent company, and Monstarz is the line, and they did a Creepshow line with a good portion of the characters. Not everybody, but a bunch, though. So, very, very cool. Another look-see around there. Trying to make the eyes pop a little bit more, but I guess just because they're smaller, and the way my camera is doesn't always pick it up the best, but just to kind of showcase for you guys. So that kind of covers it for his paint and detail work. Let's go ahead, though. Let's jump into his articulation. So nothing at the head, but the arms, where they meet, where they join into the shoulders, they do rotate. You can get them to, pretty much, depending on how you lay out the arms, they mostly go all the way around, as you guys can see. But just because of the sculpt, though, you can't fully get them to go 360. Now, you do have hinges at the elbows on both arms as well, so you can hinge up like that. And of course, hinge them down like that. So, pretty cool. And then nothing at the legs, but the feet also have a bit of rotation, so you can swivel them like so. A little bit stiff, but you can get a nice range. I mean, they can swivel pretty freely, except again where the scope prevents them from making like a full 360 turn, but just to see the range that you can get. So, I mean, it's pretty basic articulation. Like I said, they're like retro throwback type of figures. He was released a few years ago, and you had others that were released before him. You had Nathan Gratham, I should say, from Father's Day, which is one I may consider picking up in the future, because that's a pretty cool looking figure. He also had Harry and Becky from in their zombified forms from Something to Tide You Over, and I know that they did the Creep as well, which NECA has also done the Creep. They've done him from the show as well as the film. I was hoping NECA would do some of the others, especially if I could get a fluffy figure from them, but nonetheless, though, I'm definitely very happy to have this guy. The only other ones that I've ever seen are these sort of custom-made figures, so, but this is an actual official licensed figure, so very, very cool. So that pretty much takes care of it for Fluffy. Now we're going to look at the Crate here. I'm going to do my best. Let me bring it in a little bit closer just so you guys can see the detail work again. Sort of brownish paint scheme for the Crate to showcase the wood all around, but you do have some black wash, which you guys can see on the detail work there. It does have a hinge, so you can open and close it as you wish. As you see there, the chains are not attached, so you can fully remove them. And they actually are made of a metal material. You also have the locks, and these are removable as well. I'm just not going to remove them, but you guys can see there you got two padlocks in the front, done in a sort of bronzish color, and some detail work on those. And then you got 2 more that are on the back. So you guys can see those there. Again, those do come off, but I'm just going to leave them on for the purposes of this. But just a nice little look-see all the way around. You got, again, the detail work for the metal parts on the sides of the crate. And then I'm not going to get too crazy on the bottom, but you can see all that. And again, the detail really showcasing the nice wooden boards with some weathering to them. Really, really looks very, very cool. And of course the inside, again, some of the black wash, and you got like, they added a nice touch with some of the scratches. See on the lid, and then of course on the bottom, all like the scratches from Fluffy's claws. Very, very cool. And I'm sure people who like to customize these can certainly add some blood, you know, from his victims and what have you. But I really like that. And then of course a very nice touch, which I did not want to skip, if the camera will please allow me to showcase here. See if I can get the lighting correct for you. But let's see if I do. But you guys can see the writing there, which says shipped to Horlicks University via Julie Carpenter. And then Arctic Expedition, June 19, 1834, exactly from the film. So, trying to see if the camera will pick that up so you guys can see that. But I like that very nice movie accurate touch there, just as it was shown in the film. So, very, very cool. So it's very noticeable. It's just unfortunate I'm doing the best I can with the camera work there. Now, as far as Fluffy himself, I mean, you saw at the beginning, I did have him in there. If you put him like that, though, it's not going to fully close. To get him to fully close, the best thing that you can do is just kind of lay him down, and then you can have him hidden within the crate if you wish. So, very, very awesome, though, nonetheless. We'll go ahead and lift that back up. And let's have Fluffy out of there. Alright. Sorry about that, folks. Just needed to pause it real quick, take care of something. Plus, I got the crate again all straightened out with the chains and whatnot. Anyways, though, so as far as pricing goes on this guy, now when they came out, these figures were around the $40 range. Again, this is kind of a rare collectible, and Amok Time Toys, I believe, is a smaller company. So, so that was kind of the pricing that you're looking at. But nonetheless, though, I found mine on Amazon. I haven't seen, other than like a signed copy, I haven't really seen them on there, but I have still seen them on eBay, and Amok Time Toys even has their own eBay page, and it's still listed for the market price of about $40. If you're going to buy from a private seller on there, you may get some that are around that range, but I have seen them above. I've seen them $50 and over. For a smaller figure like this, I think that might be a little pricey, so just kind of keep that in mind here. And speaking of smaller figures, though, I did want to go ahead and do sizing, which I realized I forgot to do. So let's go ahead and pull Fluffy off of there so that we could see. Take the ruler first. So again, it's supposed to be in that 3 3/4 inch range, but Fluffy, as he's smaller than a human, you know, certainly a smaller figure than that. So just kind of looking at it, he stands about to the top of his head about 2.5 inches, and the crate is about 2 3/4 inches high. So that kind of gives you that scope on the size range. And just to do a quick size comparison, I have my NECA Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason figure, which I have previously reviewed years back. But just so you guys can see the size discrepancy. Now, obviously, again, he's a little too small for that kind of, because Jason, again, is in that 6 to 7 inch range. So, you know, so too small as far as sizing goes, but still nonetheless, just as a collectible in and of itself, it's just, you know, certainly really, really cool. So sizing aside, definitely a fun, rare collectible. And I think that does about cover it for all of that, folks. And I think that about wraps it up for this video. So again, if you guys are interested, I think this is an awesome, awesome figure. And definitely, if you're a fan of Creepshow and the Crate, certainly worth looking into picking him up. But other than that, I think it wraps it up for the video here, folks. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. We'll see what happens next time, if Spooky Empire does end up happening and I get a whole video from that. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I'll try and just do another horror figure before October is done. So we'll see what happens and go from there. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara, and have a spooky fun day.